Wednesday morning to you. Yes, I say Wednesday. I am a day early on my weigh-in video. And I think what we'll do for this video is that I'm going to do like a two-parter. So, because I didn't bring you a video last week, this will be like part one of last week's weigh-in information. And then tomorrow I'll film again and we'll put it together for this week's weigh-in. Doesn't that sound great? All right, so let's get to it. Last week, my weigh-in was that I gained 2.2 pounds. And I totally know how. But really, it had more to do with the fact that I made these peanut butter blossom cookies, you know, like with the little Reese's peanut butter cups that you like put in the middle of the cookie. Some people use like the star chocolates, but I use Reese's peanut butter cups. So then, like the mini ones. So then, I ended up eating that for basically breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like really the whole week. So that's one thing. And then another thing was that we had gone out to eat a few times that week, and I knew, because the night before weigh-in, for some odd reason, I ate a really high sodium meal. So I know that a lot of it's water weight. In fact, when I got on the scale yesterday, I was back down those 2.2 pounds, so I'm not too concerned with that being like a fat gain. So I just wanted to splurge a little, just live a little. You know, it's holiday season, and I say to myself, you know, there's certain things as a splurge meal and certain things as a splurge week and a splurge month and a splurge life. But if you just keep it to maybe one meal or a time frame, if you can give yourself that or be disciplined like that, and you know that the weight that you're going to gain is usually salt or you know, a temporary thing that you can get off again just by going back and being mindful and being back on plan and track your foods, then it's totally fine. So I know that 2.2 gain was well worth it, and I'm okay with it. Different than in other weigh-in videos where I'm like, how the heck did that happen? Even though most times I do know, sometimes I kid myself. So, yeah, that is what happened. I was in the Fitbit that I wear, there was a different challenge that week that I was enrolled in, and it had something more to do with it was like activity minutes versus steps. So I thought that was pretty interesting, because I think a lot of people, if they want to get steps, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're out walking hard to get that heart rate up to a good heart rate level, or not the maximum heart rate, but a fat burning heart rate. And so I thought that was a pretty neat option that Fitbit offered. It was a test or a trial, and probably something that they will offer to those people who have memberships and pay like monthly or yearly. So I just enrolled in one of those challenges, and I really liked the idea of the activity minutes. And so when I went and I was active and moving around a lot, I was like, all right, well, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's an amount of steps. So there was one day, I think my goal for each day is like 30 minutes of activity minutes, where my heart rate is at a heart rate where it would log it as being activity versus not just sitting around. And so so then I was like, okay, I gotta get going. Walking up and down the hallways at the hospital, or finding reasons to make extra trips, you know, to or from the cafeteria or something like that. And then so what I found was interesting, that was, even though there were days that I had 12,000 steps, my activity minutes, I didn't reach my goal of 30 minutes for the day, because it was most likely not consecutive minutes that my heart rate was in a good therapeutic or fat burning rate. And so so it didn't log it as being activity minutes, but I still had steps. So interesting. And then now this week I've gone back to the Fitbit challenge of just walking for steps. So, and I'm not doing so good. It's like currently my temperature gauge here on my car says it's 11 below zero outside. Now, according to the weather forecast, it's just one day this week. Like yesterday we were in the 20s. Tomorrow I think we're going back to the 20s or low 30s. So it's just a one day of cold spell, but nonetheless, it does not make me want to go outside and walk around. So I'm trying to make sure that I get a lot of my steps and my activity minutes done in the hospital when I'm working, so that it's less that I have to do when I get home. Nonetheless, my dog loves to play and romp and have fun outdoors. All right, so that's really all I wanted to say about last week. I know where my gain came from. I know that I can take that back off again. My goal, though, is to move forward, advance from that, and try to lose more weight than what I had gained and continue with weight loss. That seems to be a standstill right now, so I think I've got to get back into tracking more faithfully every day versus scattered here or there. It didn't help that last night I tried for the first time hash. Personally, right now I'm on my way to Minneapolis to see my dad for his care conference in the nursing home, and one of his favorite meals is hash, and one of the meals that he requested that we bring to him in the nursing home is hash, and so he likes roast beef hash, and so I thought, well, I don't know that I've ever tried hash, so I was going to try it last night for the first time, and then I read the can. I think it was 990 milligrams of sodium per one serving, and one serving was half a can or 1 cup, and the can had 2 servings in it, and I ate both servings, so like super bloated and full of sodium today, and yeah, just keep drinking my water, hoping for a good weigh in tomorrow, hoping to get all this water weight off today. So if I don't, I know why that tomorrow the scale won't show much of a loss anyway, but nonetheless, I'm gonna still strive for it. All right, so that's it for today. I'll come back tomorrow and let you know what my weigh-in results were for tomorrow.